Okay, so we're testing here. That's strange because it looks like it's working, but I'm not sure if it's actually making it through. It is. That's excellent. Okay, alright, then I'm going to go ahead and reset it with greetings. Now I got a new system set up on my tablet, and I'm really excited to have it running. Tierra is out at the store right now, and she's picking up a couple of things for us to cook tonight. And she and I have talked a lot, like, not like, you know, no, it's just it's interesting to have this literally just happening right now because based on our conversations that we've had, we feel like it's important for me to continue live streaming and to even like push myself and really test the what's called life streaming, where you are doing it for many hours out of the day. And this is something that I've been interested in and even aspiring to do starting a year ago. But I just haven't really been able to do it for a number of reasons. I think one is because there's like kind of as with anything that you do that like changes who you are and like makes you really like confront yourself in scary ways, right? That can involve like changing your diet. That can involve changing your exercise or doing a new career or getting divorced or any other things that are life phase changes. Live streaming is a pretty huge one, right? Because you're literally holding like a mirror up to yourself and you become increasingly self-aware of who and what you are and how you operate in the present moment. There are thousands of people around the world who do this, and there are many people who even live stream even 24/7, or they'll live stream for like 7 days in a row and even stream themselves sleeping. And that's exactly the kind of thing that I have in mind here. And it's not like I want to do it. Actually, I feel like an internal like tension that like doesn't want to do it on the level of not really wanting to face the personal change that entails. But also because I feel like a natural inclination to see like how, in a way, it feels ridiculous to do it, right? And but the whole point of this exercise is to my worldview around the future involves that people will need to stream a lot of their data in order to compete in the economy, in order to actually even like protect themselves and like have their own security, physical security, as well as like security of like preventing fake news, like from interfering with you and how you see the world. And so, in my view, I think people will voluntarily share a lot of their data live. And that may not necessarily mean literally like holding up a camera to their faces, right? And that's not necessarily what I'm going to be doing all the time. But it's to kind of to serve a point for other people who are watching this, and I don't expect to like get like a huge like grand following, but it is to serve a point, and it's to more intimately understand um, my own worldview, right? I'm not really transparent Zach without uh, uh, practicing and applying myself to situations like this and doing things like this. So I feel a little bit disappointed right now. I'll just share, like, in terms of where I'm at, that I started this stream while Tierra was out. I really felt like I wanted to start it with her here, and that we would like talk for a little while as just like kind of the beginning of trying this again. But we can do that later. And I should say this isn't like for entertainment, right? Again, this is like about demonstrating to myself as well as to others like a point about a worldview. And and also because I continue to believe that being radically honest and vulnerable has made me smarter, faster. Not only smarter, faster, but more present in the moment. And that's why, in my view, I think life streaming, and radically sharing how you think and feel functions as a kind of hypertherapy that manifests into like bringing oneself to a meditation spectrum mind. I actually find myself kind of annoyed watching my own thoughts all day, but that's the reality. I was already thinking those thoughts, since I was a child, right? The main difference now is that A, I can stop those thoughts, and B, when those thoughts are passing through my mind, I'm not trapped by them, right? So many of us around the world are trapped by our thoughts, and they just kind of like grab you and they grab your attention, right? And I don't want other people to have to deal with that. And I hope that using technology, and especially using like radical vulnerability and transparency, could be a really strong tool that's cheap, right? Because like going on sitting meditation retreats for 7 or 30 days is not economically viable for the vast majority of people on this planet. And sitting meditation not only doesn't necessarily work for everyone, but is also demonstrated to actually instigate a lot of mental health problems for people. For certain percentages of the population, it can make their situation worse. And so could stream of consciousness writing, could reflective listening and conversation with others be tools that bring you to a lot of the kind of the same situations around like the meditation spectrum, mind and body, that doesn't require you to sit. So I'll just stop there. And I also realize that like part of my habit is to explain myself as I'm looking out the window right now. It's a good example of it as the stream goes. And that's really common among live streamers. And that's not necessarily going to be, I'm going to continue like interacting with the stream. Ultimately, I hope that it's like this becomes not a big deal and something that I don't even really necessarily notice, or it's something maybe it comes around with me like my cell phone comes around with me, and it's not something that necessarily severely distracts me or pulls my attention in. It's just part of what's going on. And right now I'm just kind of phasing in and out of just sitting, as in just meditating here. I much prefer meditation as it kind of just like naturally waves in and out, right? I'm not the kind of sitter who wants to try to like hold focus on the breath. Something comes, it goes. Because one of the dangers of sitting meditation is that it can actually kind of detach you from reality too, right? Like, it is a discussed phenomenon where there are people who they sit and meditate and they are like kind of, you know, almost like disassociated from the things that are going on around them. They're aware of the physical reality and maybe like their sight and what they hear and what they feel, right? You know, they may be very much connected to those things, but that is not an appropriate substitution to being very much connected and aware to the socioeconomic and political realities that are happening around us, right? People who sit and meditate and kind of just like kind of continue the recycling of the clock of life, and like basically exist in like oblivion is a term that can be used for that. I think that's not appropriate or ethical activity in this era. I'm very much critical of it. I do believe it's important to have like a phase of growth where you give yourself permission to do nothing, but there should be some conscience, some mind activity that comes back in that's saying, okay, now you're able to not do nothing. And that kind of feeds into another reason why I've been avoiding doing this is you know, I think a major traumatic reaction of mine to a number of situations that I've been in over the years is to like withdraw on video games and then withdraw into cannabis use. And I've noticed that even without cannabis use, I still was like withdrawing into video games, and that's avoiding reality. Something that's important to note is that I've configured the tablet so that it's black and white, which is something that I encourage anybody else to do. And by changing in your settings to no longer see color, but just have a black and white screen all the time, is really good for you. It's much healthier than sitting in front of color screens all day. And it brings out the color of the world around you a lot more. Because otherwise the vividness of colors on your screen are just as bright, if not brighter, than what's going on out there around you. And you want to make sure that that's brighter and much more attractive to the eye. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get moving here. And do a load of dishes in the dishwasher. Then I'm going to change the water in the fish tank. And if Tierra's not home by then, I'll put some clothes away. I'll say again now, as I've said before, like, I hope people choose to engage and talk with me, like a normal human being. Just something I feel like people haven't done. Some have. There are a number who have been pretty disappointing. All right. Another, I think, important change with the tablet is that now with the program that I'm using, I no longer see when anybody's watching. I prefer that because I don't even really need to think about it. It has kind of created a little bit of a, tremor or awkwardness. Though that said, that's a thing that can be overcome, I think, just with time and practice. All right. realizing now that it's been an unusual day in terms of food. We had breakfast really late, and I should eat something. And open the RX Explorer. Go ahead and get some breakfast sausage started too. Put it in a Tupperware. Go in the fridge. Supposed to be working on posture. Not only working on posture, but also the way in which I position my feet to avoid pronating. Okay, would you like to lick this? Thank you, Code. Look at the sausage. Yeah. I like doing this. I like doing the first person view. It's not vegan. Oh man, doing a flip through the camera. Oh man. That was a little scary. Yeah, there we go. Oh my goodness. Oh, good. Yeah. Good. Yeah. See, that's where I want the camera to be right now. And then I need some kind of stand that's like super adjustable where I can like put it like that or like really move it around. Let's see here. Maybe. There we go. It's a little. Let's try that. No, it's out of focus. Alright. Okay. Well, part of my plan is to hold, yeah, the camera's there, is to hold the tablet against my chest, like this. Why is it still out of focus? It looks okay. I don't know. That's interesting. Something just happened with this camera. There we go. That's better. Just let it cook off the moisture. Oh, interesting. It's out of focus again. Oh, it's doing that. It's too bad the picture's so fuzzy. No one's calling that. Oh! Oh! That's what I get for being transparent. Oh. Grease tastes super good. I literally just drooled a drop on myself. That's how good this grease is. The fuck. Okay, well, I guess the dog is getting half a sausage, but it's really hot, so I don't want to invite him over here. Hopefully he doesn't notice for a little while. Okay. Alright. That was silly. Okay. This one last sausage. Watching through the camera. Bam. I'm excited about making the first person experience when I choose to do it. I was about to say artistic. Art, everything you do is art. That's what I wrote on the whiteboard yesterday while substituting at school. Okay. Everything you do is art. Okay, the sausages are gonna cool. Now it's time to change the water. But first I need to snack. So I'll peel off a banana. Fuck it, I'm gonna eat the sausage and hit the ground. Oh, oh, oh. I'm gonna eat 1.5 sausages. And 1 RX bar. I look forward to the day when sit like this. I look forward to the day. I can't even see myself at this angle because there's a giant mixed nut container that's sitting in front of the screen. I was about to say that I look forward to the day when your sidekick AI, your sidekick artificial intelligence, just automatically logs your nutritional intake for you. I think a lot of people, they think like, oh, I'll have sensors in my body and stuff. Well, probably before a lot of sensors are in your body, they could just be as simple as a sensor in your glasses. That's just taking images of what you're eating. Facebook is already doing this. They're taking notes of what people are eating on videos, so along with just about everything else. Sit up straight. And I feel like if I weren't streaming right now, it's very likely, not a certainty, but very likely that I would be like reading the news on my phone, I would be watching a YouTube video or something like that. But I don't really feel like doing that right now. It's more interesting to potentially be present with you, right? Because in a way, it's not the same, but in a way, knowing that you might be watching makes me kind of want to treat you as if, like, I had a guest in my house or something, right? But I think we all know that after maybe 3 to 7 days of a guest hanging out at your house, you're going to start going back to your old habits, start acting like you would otherwise in your own house. And that's perhaps what's going to happen here too. And that's part of the point. If you're watching right now, you can reflect on the fact that this is the present reality, and that you can only really interact with reality in the present moment. Right? You can't interact with reality in the future or the past. It's only now, with a banana. And I can look at the banana and see how the light reflects off of it. It's always easy off the bit end, right? You know, because that's the point that's moist. Of course, you can notice reflection off that, but on the matte side facing of the banana, it can be really easy to miss how sometimes, and that's especially the case here, and I guess it's the sugars that are in it, but there's like a bit of a glitter. And I can just see like a little subtle sparkling on the matte facing of the banana. I've honestly never noticed that before. And that's only possible because I'm here. I really fucking appreciate that. It's like I can tell myself that even if I never live stream again for the rest of my life, I think because I was live streaming, because I was radically present with myself, at least in this moment, in this particular way, I noticed something about the complexion of a effing banana. And I genuinely appreciate that. All right. In the present moment, you can actually chew the banana. You can feel all of its shape and its flavor as it changes in your mouth with each chew. The first time I ever ate after really meditating, mindfully ate, it was at a retreat center, the meditation retreat. I was there for 5 days, and I broke down crying. Because I never really ate mindfully. And you can even maybe argue right now I'm not exactly eating mindfully because I'm allowing myself to freely speak while being here. But that like is and isn't the case at the same time. Like meditative awareness like includes the things that are happening in your mind. But it's if you can actually be aware of the thoughts that are occurring through your mind while being engaged with the other senses that you're exposed to simultaneously, right? When LeBron James is doing a basketball play, he can think discursively about what's happening with the play and be fully aware and well, fully is a kind of a rigged word in talking about meditation, but he's discursively clicking through like, okay, this is the play that we're in now, but he's still absolutely really in the present moment and feels the ball, feels the floor, is visually and auditorially aware of what's happening around him, right? And these different awarenesses are kind of fading in and out as your attention goes around. So once I was done talking there, I looked back at the banana and I really saw it. As I sit here, I can really taste it. And I'm increasingly believing that transparent living can offer you this. Hey.
Hi.
I started the stream.
Huh?
I started the stream.
The what?
I started the stream. The live stream?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Oh. Thank you. You want to just take it upstairs?
Yeah. You put mine in my closet.
Yep.
You good on that? Well, I talked with one of the other gals who was furloughed today.
Yeah.
She's really upset because they didn't give her any notice. Like, I always knew that I had to be there and that something was going to go down. And
Yeah.
they just told her, like, hey, we need to talk to you, and brought her to the room.
Oh, well, I thought they did a similar thing with you where they just emailed you and were like, hey, we got.
Yeah, but I knew then early that morning that something was going to happen. I didn't know what. I just knew something was happening. She didn't have any sort of notice on that.
Well, I mean, we're told like an hour or two later, right? Like, so.
No, I know, but she's upset about it.
Okay.
And is kind of, yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, even when this does get back together, like, I don't know that I want to come back. And I then talked to the project manager.
Yeah.
And she gave me a lot of bigger picture information that I think was helpful. I guess PG&E is not going to pay, well, it's going to pay them eventually for December. So they're not getting paid for that. And that's like $1 million and some change dollars.
That I'm sure made a big impact on the furloughs.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, we've then, the 7 people then have been working on overhead tasks basically. And, you know, that ends up being like 50 grand or something. But that plus the $1 million plus ends up being an issue. And I was asking, you know, if this has happened in the past, and she was saying that previously, you know, they didn't really have anybody who had started on call that they really liked. They were just like, okay, and so, you know, they never gave them that full-time status, so just didn't use them when work got slow. Yeah.
So just to be clear, just so I'm hearing right, you said that PG&E is paying them $1 million, they just haven't done it yet.
They don't know when they're going to pay
They
them.
don't know when they're going to pay them. Okay.
I guess December then is being put into the bankruptcy.
Well,
They will be getting a bunch of money from the CPUC to work on these sorts of projects, but everything then has to be approved by the CPUC.
well, what's the CPUC?
The California Public Utilities Commission.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
You want me to start cooking though?
what?
Do you want me to start cooking food? For dinner? Or just, okay, we're gonna wait.
Yeah, you can.
Are you hungry yet?
Are you, you're eating
I just
right now.
snacked now.
Yeah.
So,
Did you eat lunch?
No.
So this is your lunch.
So I had an RX bar and a banana and
Well, I want to shower.
yeah.
And then I can get started on stuff. I got the turkey, so we could do it with the turkey or we could do the chicken.
Okay.
Whichever one you prefer. I don't really care. The turkey's already thawed, so.
I mean, I like to try turkey.
Yeah, okay. The other thing then is, basically I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply to some of these on-call positions. I mean, it takes a while, so, you know, by the time, like, I get an offer, like, you know, things might be figured out.
Yeah.
She was also saying that it's like, you know, if you do get an offer, you know, Christy was like, we want to know about it. Basically, it's like, you know, telling them, hey, I have an offer, might then be like, oh, well, we'll take it back now.
So, I guess that means you should just apply for jobs and try to get one so you can go back to work.
Yeah. I don't know that Barstow's going to happen.
Okay.
Because I haven't heard anything, and they had the meeting this morning, and Ariana was saying that she knows Marissa's going, but you know, they would tell me if I was going. So I don't know. I'm putting that on the back burner now as a plan.
Okay.
I mean, I could hear something tomorrow morning, but at this point I'm not expecting it. So I think what I'm going to do, Jen is applying for restaurant positions. I don't really necessarily want to do that,
No.
but Ariana had suggested like catering, being a caterer waiter, and that's something that, I don't know, I don't really get.
I think you're probably just trying to apply to a new biology position.
No, I know, but like that's gonna take like at least 2 weeks to even, you know. I'm just gonna look and see what's out there, you know. If I could like barista somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like if you. Alright, so imagine if you could start a restaurant or a cafe tomorrow,
Yeah,
right? You'll probably make like $13 an hour,
yeah.
right? And right now you're making 26.
Well, I'm making 0.
No, your current base salary when you are working is 26,
Yeah.
right? So even if it takes you 2 weeks to get a new biology job, like that's still more economically efficient than
Yeah.
throwing all your energy at a job for half the money.
Yeah. Yeah, and I definitely, you know, it's like I said, like I don't think like Jen has, you know, backup. You know, it didn't sound like she did. And I do.
Yeah.
I'll apply for unemployment tomorrow.
Well,
And maybe then use my PTO next week. See what happens. And apply for other things.
yeah, so apply for jobs on Monday, and well, how long did it take for your employer to call you back after you submit an application?
For what?
How for your job, like how long did it take for you to get a call back for your application?
Oh, like I don't know, 24 to 48 hours.
Exactly.
Something like that.
So it may not take 2 weeks. You might get hired like immediately, and you won't know if you don't apply for those open positions.
Yeah.
Unless you want to work as a barista for a little while, which I won't fault you for that. If you want to like reset your brain and do something a little different.
I just need to do something.
Yeah.
I can't just be in this house all day for 2 weeks.
Understood. Yeah. So yeah. Don't jump to the least confident conclusion. Like just because PG&E and this contract is not working doesn't mean the other biology companies don't have work.
I know.
And there could be things that they're not telling you, right? You know, it could be that they lost out to certain opportunities that other contractors have now, and they would hire you to work those opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll start changing the water in the fish tank. The dishwasher is ready to go. Just needs to press the button.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that
I
for
put
sure.
bleach in the water bottles.
Thanks, thank you. This then, will this fit in there?
Oh, is that dirty?
Yeah, we never cleaned it.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Okay. So, no, it will not fit in there right now.
Okay, well we can just clean this by hand. It's not that.
What?
Yeah. And I was kind of thinking like we could make the thing in here. This can go in that end.
Okay.
Or not.
I'd rather. Let's just do it in the Pirates tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be confident that that's. Well, I guess the cauliflower would get more crispy in there. Everything would get more crispy in there. Yeah.
you don't want to, it's fine. Okay. People that want to use, I have to pull up the recipe. I don't want to use both of these.
I've almost got to eat half of the sausage that I dropped on the floor, but then
You got it?
decided that I preferred to wash it off and have it for myself.
You weren't fast enough.
Well, he wasn't even in here. He didn't even notice. I mean, I was a little offended. I was in here cooking freaking sausages, and he was ignoring me upstairs.
I'm offended. Oh, you know how I felt the other day. It's like, what are you doing? And then I got you 3, and then I got these high protein veggie burgers.
Oh no.
Which actually I'm really
boy.
excited about.
Okay. It's a very chipper cover that they have for it.
Right, doesn't it look delicious?
It's really.
Okay, keep your mouth open. Here you go. Yeah, and then I was comparing it to all the other veggie burgers there. This has 26 grams of protein. The other ones would have like 5.
He doesn't even want my attention. He wants fucking sausage. I bring my hands down to give him attention, and he starts just sniffing and licking around, and like.
Are you starving?
It's really. Have at it. Have at it. I'm so tired.
Is that going?
It's going.
Oh, so all of that. Okay.
I told you when you
No,
came
I
in.
know.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, I was watching my words a little bit too, right? You know.
Oh, I wasn't. I thought it was on.
Yeah.
Because you can't see it.
And then that's the way to keep it propped up, at least. Position. But I think it's fine. What did you say you were going to do now?
I was going to take a shower.
You gonna take a shower? Okay. I'll put that stuff away.
Yeah. Well, and let's see. How much is in here? There's like more than 2 cups in here. No, this does look, well, I could pull up the recipe and you could start cooking the turkey.
Hmm?
Put a bunch of chili powder in it so it's spicier.
Yeah. Oh man, I made chicken oil and changing the water.
It's fine.
Still do tomorrow. No. Is it attention or sausage?
You get attention.
No.
Okay. So 1.5 pounds of chicken. Well, yeah, let's just cook all that turkey. And put one of those in the freezer. I think, is the other one still in there? Yeah. Okay, good. I wonder if these are already.
Do you want to jump on this one?
Yes, I do. Yeah, let's steam these.
Steam the cauliflower?
Yeah, because I don't think that it's been cooked.
Oh, okay. Well, would it fix our problem if I cleaned the pan?
What do you mean, would it fix that problem?
Then we wouldn't have to steam it. We could just throw them in and cook it together.
Oh, cook it in the pan?
Yeah.
Why would you steam it?
We're putting enchilada sauce all over it, right?
Yeah, we're just steaming this to cook it, and then we'll take it out and do a bunch of other stuff with it.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So how do you steam rice cauliflower exactly?
Well, let's see if I know. Because the other one, you could steam it in the bag.
You just microwave it?
Yeah, but this isn't a steam bag.
So yeah, babe, I don't think it's gonna like in terms of like talking about work stuff, like I don't think even like without the live stream, you never talk about anything that's like so inappropriate that it would trigger something with an employee. Right? Are you comfortable talking about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you ever say anything that's just like, you know, really bad or confidential for you to say or, you know, anything like that. And I think an important boundary to just maintain is that, I mean, you don't put your employer information on your Facebook, right? You don't maintain a LinkedIn account, right?
I have one.
You have one, but you know, something you could do if you like get a you know, a new employer, you don't have to put it on your LinkedIn right away.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and those are just layers of protection to the only thing I would be worried about is someone trying to dox you or me, right? You know, like if someone finds out like who I'm substituting for and they start calling up, you know, schools.
Yeah.
Right? Or they try to call your employer and, you know, do but that I don't even think we're not even close
Try
to that.
that out.
Sure. We're not even close to that territory
Yeah.
yet. You know, and we may never be.
Yeah.
So I won't stress about it.
Okay. Well, we can do this in the microwave.
Okay.
This is actually, I really like this. This has like 4 different ways to do it. And, which I think will make it, like the other day when it was like a side dish, it then was, I feel like I could have done it better so it tasted more flavorful.
Mm-hmm.
But like this way, since it's being put in something, it doesn't matter as much.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do it in the microwave
Okay. I'm going to put the sausage in the fridge.
Okay, so. Oops, sorry. Oh wow, that's actually a lot.
Can I tell you about my snack experience that I just had?
Your what?
My snack experience. So I was eating the banana, and of course I was eating it pretty mindfully, and I noticed how on the matte side of the banana, it's sparkly sugars.
Uh-huh. Oh my god.
Excuse me.
So, since you're going to be managing this, would you rather have one big bowl that you then have to stop and, well, you might even have to stop and stir. Basically, should I get a bigger bowl to put them both in? I'm going to have to dirty another bowl anyways to then mix it all together.
Okay.
Let's actually just do the one and see what this turns out to be.
Okay.
So,
Do you want the turkey to be cooked inside the sausage grease?
oh yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. And we need both turkeys?
Well, we're doing the bigger thing of it. Let's cook both turkeys. We might not use both of it. Whatever we don't use, we'll eat tomorrow.
Okay. Go.
Okay, depending on my toast. Okay. I wonder if this is microwavable. Do you think I can? Let's see, what does this say?
Your face is microwavable.
What do you think? It says max 220 degrees, max 428 degrees Fahrenheit. I could totally put this in.
Is there an indicator of what material it is made out of? Like a recycling symbol or something?
No, there's just, what do these mean? It says no flame.
Yeah. Yeah, no flame, no. I guess pan.
Maybe like
Burner.
induction burner.
Induction
Yeah,
burner.
and then it's like no, is that a scissor? A knife. But yeah, that means it's micro. Or you can go in the
That means
the
they can
dishwasher.
Oh, dishwasher. Gotcha. Well, let's try it.
Yeah.
If its max is 420 degrees,
Yeah, and it's like
and
a
we're not
food safe
burning it.
thing.
Yeah, I think it would be good. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna?
It's dry. Well, here, I'm just gonna heat up.
Wait, I thought you wanted to do in the Pirates dish.
No, let's just use it. I already cleaned it.
You change your mind every 5 seconds.
No,
Yeah, you
changed my mind.
like after 20 seconds. You go back and forth and drives me crazy.
How long has it gone?
Not 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go shower.
Okay.
After the 5 minutes are up, see if it's tender. Stir it and see if it's tender. If it's not, put it in for another 5 minutes. Oh, one last thing then that I got is Jen talked to one of the payroll people and they sent the checks out today.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was something I was worried about.
Take it. Take it. Go. Take it. Crack.
Just grab it. Good job. Okay, did you say stir it and then microwave for a second, 5 minutes?
Is it tender?
I'll tell you. This sure is hot. It's under. It's not tender, but it's really getting there.
What?
It's not tender, but it's really getting there.
Okay, I think it'll be fine because we're going to cook it in the oven again.
Okay.
Actually, we're going to cook it for like 2 minutes, or like 2.5.
Okay. Damn. Okay. There we go. Fine wine. Drink here. Usually I have bullet.
Yeah, bring her boat. Yeah, bring her over here. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, good job. Yeah. Oh, you got it. You got it. I don't know. Do you want to be naked on the internet?
See, now this is where I have an issue. No,
So, like, we should talk about this. We've talked about this so much over the past year that imagine some of these components of
No.
transparent living. Oh, okay. You can walk around in that. I mean, I'm not going to get banned off of Facebook if you are paying.
it's on Facebook.
switch it around. But we literally talked about this last night.
Yeah, but
Where I said I wanted to stream it to all the, including Facebook. No. I don't know if you're listening. Okay, well, I was thinking about proposing we do like, reflective listening with each other anyway.
why does this have water in it?
I don't know. Two packages of turkey. Fair amount of water collecting up on it.
Okay, that looks good.
Do you want me to turn it off right now?
What?
You want me to turn it off?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Okay, did you want to do it in the pan or the Pyrex?
So earlier, what I meant to say, even though I felt more interested in doing the Pyrex, I meant to say that I was interested in doing the pan to get crispier. I just wasn't decided on it.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, I'm interested in doing it in the pan. If you want to do that.
Okay, so I think we are gonna have to do the second bag,
Yeah.
which is fine. Can
Okay.
you grab me the yellow mixing bowl? No, the big one. Did you use this to stir?
Mm-hmm. Do you want help? You're so proud of yourself for pouring the cauliflower all by yourself. But then again, I would have too. I would have smugly looked over my shoulder. Right, just make sure. Problem I ran into earlier was getting the thing off the track.
What?
All right, that sounds good.
What?
The weight of the bowl throws it off the microwave track easily. So I think it's fine now. It looks like it's still straight, but
Okay.
when it was hot, it was very tempting to just kind of quickly throw it in there.
Oh, that's why I use, a barrier between the hand and the hot thing. I don't know if you've heard of that tactic.
You should be grateful that I opened the bottle of wine for you.
Well, but you haven't poured it yet.
You can hand me the glass.
Yeah, hold on. What did you already put on this?
I already put on a layer of chili powder over the whole thing and garlic salt. But it might need more garlic salt. And last time you complained that it needed salt. I think it needs salt too.
I thought it needed more chili powder too.
Yeah. Do chunkier chili. Chili flakes. Jacob liked the video earlier.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did you talk to him?
I need to call him.
Okay. And you wanted beans and corn.
Yeah.
I think there's still a can of beans in there.
It's not much.
No, in the refrigerator.
No, I know. It's just there's almost none.
Is there not any more frozen corn?
What?
Is there not any more frozen corn?
Oh.
Or did you use the rest of it last time?
I'm sure it is.
Do you want a wine glass or a cup? Probably gonna need to mix. Or do you want? We could do lighter sauce.
Lighter sauce.
We just used the one thing on it last time.
One can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one can is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember it was like in the back. It says peppers. I used to do it forever. Yeah. Because we could put the red sauce in too. The red enchilada sauce. And mix it.
I would rather do like half and half than mix it.
Yeah, no, that's
You
what I
would do
mean.
that?
Yeah. Or not. It's up to you.
Let's put the green on one side and see how far it goes.
Okay.
Not much. Because I also don't like, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of like ultra deep sauce. Like, it doesn't even go
Yeah, I think last time it had a lot of sauce in it.
right. Yeah. Lighter than last time.
Can you get 2 eggs out?
Oh, what?
2 eggs out?
Oh, yeah. One egg left on the curtain.
also get out some flour.
Does Cook need a new
Yes.
thing? Does the corn need to be washed?
What?
Does the corn need to be washed?
Probably rinse it.
So we gotta open another can of beans.
How much is in there? Oh, yeah.
Put some fire. Holiday for the holidays.
How long has this been in there now? It smells fine.
Okay, I'm gonna double fist these cans since I'm acidic.
So who's the 8-year-old now?
I mean,
What was that? I'm not hearing anything.
I did want to tell Leslie that subbing for elementary schoolers and middle schoolers in particular made me feel quite empowered today
Give her shit.
to give her shit and replicate the behaviors.
She was really frustrated.
Yeah,
It was actually kind of hilarious.
playing dumb in really smart ways is...
Yeah. Especially because I was right the whole time. And she was like, saying, no, you don't have it right. I'm like, no, I do.
And her basically like,
Giving up.
yeah, giving up. And like the kind of shit that she was giving me in a couple of ways.
Okay, but you were... Okay, I totally get what she was saying now. Like, adding 30 pounds, you can't tell me that first one was a little crunchy.
What, the 95?
No, when you added the 30 to 125 and did it, and the first overhead that you did with that.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like it has more to do with the fact that I don't do jerks yet than the weight increase itself,
But even, like, getting up into those heavier weights, like, I feel my shoulders getting crunchy that first time. The first time is not. Like,
yeah.
you know, so with that even higher weight jump.
I'm sure it's, you know, she's saying, because it's clean and jerks. It's just that it's particularly close to her heart, and she knows when bad weight adding is occurring.
Yeah. Plus, I didn't know this. I guess her, Mauricio, and Sarah would train for like 20 hours a week when they first were starting.
Oh, really?
Like before she got involved with the gym.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's like two workouts a day, at least.
At least.
Yeah.
You know, and she goes and does, you know, competitions with teenagers.
Oh, I know.
So.
Well, they're all serious. I trust our coaches. I think they are very competent experts, and I am lazy and unmotivated.
That less than back squats felt so good. I almost then was regretting that I'd only done 195. I wish that I'd done the 200 and done all of them like that. Because it felt great.
Yeah. Me at 165 felt like this is fine. But then again, that's my relationship with, you know, that's like the best I can hope for is it's fine. I don't know. One of these days it'll click, and I'll have waves of oxytocin and dopamine come in and allow me to feel one with the universe as I exhaust my body.
I almost want to,
sounds-
like, coat this in flour.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Well, it just helps with, like, sticking.
Yeah. Well,
I
then
know
I'll
when you-
also brown it a bit, and
I mean, a little bit.
I'm interested in that.
But, like, when you, make a cake, you end up then, to do that so that it, like, doesn't stick. I'm not really worried about the size as much, but.
So I think our bedtime is going to be 8 o'clock tonight.
I'm pretty tired.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not going to run the live stream in our sleep tonight.
I'll be tomorrow night.
Don't worry, that might be tomorrow night.
Can you get the cheese out?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
You should check on that sour cream now. It's been there a while. You didn't go at it like I thought you were.
No. Makes me feel pretty guilty.
Is it alive?
What's alive?
I mean, there's a little bit of red,
Yeah.
but I think we can make it happen.
Scoop that out.
Yeah, today's gonna be the last day though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the turkey to get started.
I don't know.
No.
Is ready?
Oh. I totally forgot about that chili sitting in there. I would have totally made a pot of chili today if I knew that was sitting in there.
You bought both of them.
I know.
A hot. Ooh.
I mean, are there little like oven mitts that you can put on your tongue to help you with that?
Come by his butt.
Come bite my butt. Come bite my butt. Bite me right here. Bite my butt. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? Should I add some more? I mean, I technically could put the rest on, but I think it's fine like that. Pretty well. Pretty good coverage.
Do one more.
What's out there, Cubby?
Oh, is the mailman? Is the mailman out there?
What is it?
Oh. Oh. Oh.
There's turkey. Ow.
It's like I just can't believe it. It's like
Like, how much you want to go to bed right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I just want an IV and a massage chair hooked up to me. I'll just fall asleep in that.
Yeah. Are you working tomorrow?
No.
Why did I think you were? Were you going to and then you didn't?
I was going to, but the job canceled.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And I think I had the option to take a second grade class tomorrow. I just like, that's cool, I don't need that. And now that it's like almost for certain you're not going to Barstow, like now I can start racking up jobs for February.
I think you should do that anyways. Honestly. It's like,
Well, in the first 2 weeks of February, I'm good.
okay.
Yeah. Like February 3rd, that week I got.
So next week?
I have 3 already. Yeah, next week I got 3.
You know what would actually be helpful? Since it does change, if you could write it on the calendar.
Oh, yeah.
Just write like sub.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't
Alright.
have to, but
I might do it.
yeah, that's a really cool owl. Screech owls must be like
Part of the problem, though, is jobs will cancel in the future.
Yeah.
And as long as I can just cross out some. Fix that.
Okay. I honestly think this will be fine for the whole thing.
You think so? Yeah. I think so too. It'll be a thin layer for the whole thing. Do you want to record our cooking here?
We've already been recording and cooking.
an actual picture of it. It's out of focus. There's been something going on with this camera here, where like it'll be in focus and out of focus. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll have to reset the tablet.
As much as I thought it was going to be. Well,
Too much sauce. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
I think we might mix it with the red. we just do it and see what happens? I could always put red on mine. I'm gonna put a bunch of cheese on it. That's true.
Alright, let's put red out.
Do you want me to put it on?
Yeah.
It's in the bottle. There it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, they make this in open this. I haven't even had wine and I think it's impossible.
There's no perforation.
Right?
Trader Joe's.
Rude.
WTF.
Man, Trader Joe's has been really sad to go to now because I like their whole frozen food section is off limits, basically.
Oh. I thought you were going to say something about the clientele or something.
No. Like all their fun crackers.
Oh, all this shit about the frozen food. Yeah. Crackers, chocolate, giant chocolate bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will be good. Yeah. Alright, well.
Try more.
Oh. Okay, alright, that works. That does. Oh, I don't know.
This will be really good. We should do this. We should use this up and not with egg for brekkie.
Yeah.
Are you living? Are you gonna die?
I might die.
Are you hungry?
I'm hungry and sleepy.
Well, this has to cook for half an hour.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
You make it. I know you will.
Sorry, I don't even have the energy to. I don't even have the energy to play a freaking video game right now.
Okay, chocolate shredded cheese. Cover and bake for 30 minutes. Cover and bake condition 5 to 10. I think last time when I uncovered it, the cheese was already like, it's just uncovering it more to make the cheese get more crispy, but it already was pretty good.
Okay.
So, here's hoping. Oh.
I believe. Good. That was good. That was good form, babe. Your back was flat.
My back is almost flat.
Wow. Wow.
No, what I've been doing is I've been practicing.
Your back is always flat as you choke.
I've been practicing when I sit on the toilet.
Oh, that's
So
a
I
good
like
place to practice.
throw my hips back more
Wow, yeah, I do
and
not
sit like that.
I do not sit up straight on the toilet. I really should. I sit like, you know, one of those dudes like squatting on the street corner in South Asia, like while he's waiting for the bus, and his back totally rounded over, like, you know.
Yeah, because I used to then, but basically, like, look, like, my feet are rolling in, my knees are rolling in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so now I'm making it consciously, knees out,
Oh, this posture thing's gonna be a lot of work.
Hmm?
It's gonna be a lot of work fixing the posture. Well, you know what? Actually,
Fixing the palm tree?
posture.
Oh.
Palm tree. The palm tree of my spine.
I mean, kind of.
And,
Palm trees are really straight.
well, I need to go back to my hip flexing exercises in bed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's an inhibition right there, for burpees at least. Like,
I hate burpees.
yeah.
I almost want to, I think,
I
like,
think I would be super good at burpees if the back thing was corrected.
yeah.
I would be super down for them. And it's not the cardio burn. Like,
Oh, that's what it is for me.
it's like it's when I jump my legs, I feel like shit. Like,
It's definitely the cardio for me, and then just, like, getting down is not a problem, but, like, figuring out where, just how I should even push off my legs
yeah,
to get back up.
gotcha. Yeah, that's funny. I don't even think about that. I guess like I kind of like worm. I kind of do a snake. Kind of, you know.
Yeah, but that's then, like, not super efficient.
That's not efficient. Okay, we gotta watch some burpee videos.
Okay, let me tell you, the burpees that Diego and Alex were doing, shit, I really hope I think Karina filmed part of it. It was nuts.
Yeah,
It was
their
just,
technique.
yeah, they were perfectly in sync, doing fucking 15 burpees a minute after just having done, you know, and it was just like up, down, up,
Yeah,
like 2 seconds of burpee. 2.5.
well, we have time. Let's go watch some burpee videos.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can set it up on my laptop, or maybe I could even do it here and still like screen share or something. I don't know.
But I definitely, you know, this isn't gonna go in. Get the other stopper.
There it is.
Well, I could.
I couldn't turn on a screen share on there.
There is, though. There we go. No, that's not what I want. Oh, poop. Is that like... Because there is a section or a sanctional going on right now.
Sectional.
Yeah, for the games in Cape Town.
Oh. Right now? When he's
Yeah.
live right now?
Yeah, like this weekend.
Oh, this weekend.
But, the issue, so they have a live feed. Oh, video archive. Yeah, this website is just like not very good. Like they have a live feed, but it's not going on right now, and it's unclear then if it.
Are there already some videos up?
So yes, I'm saying it wasn't.
First qualified workout for CrossFit Fitness in Cape Town 2019 is a fairly long shifter style AMRAP. We'll use 6 different movements. Back in 2011, jobs to started fitness in Cape Town decided to
See, they're only like then posting on Facebook like short little.
Promotional things.
Yeah.
Do we have to pay to get the video?
No, like there's a streaming thing that's free, but it's not going on right now.
Okay, so you have to watch it live.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Okay. And are you looking at this on their website or on Facebook?
Both.
Okay.
So they're posting
so
short
last
little
CrossFit,
clips.
we watched all that on their Facebook.
No, I know.
page.
They're posting short little clips, but like today, it was live. Today's Thursday. So they're going to be live 10 p.m. to 9:30 a.m. Right?
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. So I don't think we can just like sit and watch.
That's too bad because we would watch hours of it. Like, we would sit and watch like 5 or 6 hours of that shit
Right.
on a Saturday.
Yeah. Did any of the workouts for the games have burpees? Are they even still up there? Let's see.
Yeah, I think so.
Ah!
I didn't have a game plan.
No,
That's
stop.
like that.
Okay. That one was from 2017. Yeah, so we could try rewatching something else. They're all up here.
I mean, I don't mind doing that. I don't mind rewatching some 2017 events.
Should we watch The Row? I'm kidding.
I mean, watching the last half hour of the row, last 15 minutes of the row.
Yeah, there's a bunch up here. There's more of the strongman stuff. The Rogue. Who's straight strongman?
Yeah.
Or I could just read to you about the Russians in Afghanistan?
Actually, I wouldn't mind that.
Really?
We're down for doing that. Yeah. You want to do that?
Yeah, do that. Did everybody go put down? It's still upstairs. Pippin, go get it for me.
You want to just do it upstairs?
Wow. Yeah. We'll hear the thing.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I'm cooking all the time in this house, and I hear the alarm go off when my pizza rolls are nice and.
I'm never eating those again. Oh my god. That was like a traumatizing experience. I think it's a lot better though.
Yeah. Yeah.
This stuff is almost coming off.
Yeah.
In fact. So it's just a little pink,
Yeah.
but it's not like.
And that'll go away. Yeah, no. I mean, pizza rolls don't exactly have a whole lot of flavor to them anyway. You know, they're more of a vehicle for hot sauce. And I like their crispiness.
Well, why don't you just put like hot sauce in your mouth then?
Because hot sauce doesn't have hot sauce won't fill you up. You can't just drink a bottle of hot sauce and that's dinner.
Oh, you could. Shit. Did you even taste that?
Though I have sipped on the bottle of hot sauce for snacks. That's part of why the hot sauce sits on the desk upstairs.
So it's you ready for snacks?
I can't actually slurp it. Like, I just get cravings to just slurp the vinegar and spice.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Jesus.
And it happens usually like once a day.
Oh my god.
I do need more Franks.
More Franks?
Yeah.
Mm. Put it on the board.
Either Franks or regular Crystal is what I'll actually slurp with, but I prefer Franks for slurping.
Can you also put up frozen berries and cheese? They're playing at 7:30 though. I don't know that we can wait up that long.
Wait, what?
The Warriors are playing tonight
Well, I would definitely fall asleep during that.
at 7:30.
But you can play the Warriors in bed if you want. I wouldn't mind that.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's go upstairs. We'll read about Afghanistan for 15 minutes.
Sounds good.
Come on, Kirby. Oh, my babies. Do you want some wine? Can fish drink wine?
I highly doubt it.
Are you guys hungry?
I think the cloud would.
Look at them. They know that I'm going to feed them. They love me. You can't even see it on there.
You can see the fish. Oh my god, it's blurry right now. That's just so sad.
There you guys go.
Blurry time.
Fishy fishies. Yeah, listen, give me micro pellets. Where's Cher?
Yeah.
There she is. Let's put the trash right now. It's gonna be okay.
Let's see if I can even make it.
I'm gonna start working again.
There you will.
Go on, Cup.
Mmm.
Does it seem less bright? Let's push the thing. Do you have any, do you have any pillows back?
It's upside down.
Pillows stuck back there?
One. Strong intuition. There we go. Yes. Okay.
It's because you always have pillows stuck. Okay, Cubby. Afghanistan. Okay, so now entered the story
Yes.
as the special envoy to Afghanistan.
What's his name again?
Thompson.
Okay.
What's his first name? I don't know what his first name is. Peter Thompson.
Peter Johnson, okay.
And the issue that you just described is the Pakistan
Come over here, Cub. Come
ambassador.
Come here. No.
Yes.
No,
Felt-
that's not what I need.
The the U.S. ambassador to Pakistan felt that Afghanistan was in his purview, as did the CIA chief.
Okay.
And so previous envoys, they basically controlled everything, told them when they could go visit Afghanistan, didn't take any of their recommendations, because they didn't have any power. So they've now upgraded the envoy position to be an ambassadorial level. So he has more pull. Does that make sense? He's an equal now as opposed to...
I see, yeah. He now actually has command over, intelligence agencies and stuff like that.
Well, not necessarily command.
But they need his
He's an equal
authorization
to the
and stuff.
Pakistan, to the U.S. ambassador to Pakistan.
Gotcha.
Whereas before, the envoy was below him.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was still in Beijing on April 4th, 1989, when the Department of State spokeswoman, Margaret Tutwiler, announced my appointment as special envoy to the Afghan resistance with the personal rank of ambassador. Friends and colleagues in the large Beijing diplomatic corps phoned to congratulate me. Soviet Deputy Chief of Mission Vladimir Fedotov visited me at the U.S. Embassy. He graciously extended his best wishes for my success. On leaving, 1989, this is during the pullout.
Oh, okay.
The Soviets are leaving. On leaving, he paused to say he regretted that, given the nature of my new appointment, he would be unable to host a farewell social function in my honor. Ambassador Oakley unexpectedly phoned from Islamabad on an unclassified open line. I don't know whether to congratulate you or commiserate with you, he quipped. I joked that he would play a role in deciding how that would play out. We exchanged commitments to cooperate closely with each other. Members of the Beijing Diplomatic Corps and Western reporters plied me with information on Afghan developments. The battle for Jalalabad was still underway in April 1989. Each week, the Swedish ambassador asked me when the city would fall into Mujahideen hands. Relying on CIA and embassy in Islamabad reporting, I confidently and incorrectly predicted an early Mujahideen victory. In our meetings with the Beijing diplomatic circuit, Soviet Deputy Chief of Mission Fedotov grew more confident with each passing week that the Najib regime's prospects for survival. Your assessment about Afghanistan is wrong, he volunteered. In many conversations during our 3-year association in Beijing, Fedotov had proved to be well-informed and straightforward. His rejection of the conventional wisdom that Najib was losing and the Afghan Mujahideen were winning troubled me. Was he spreading disinformation, or was U.S. intelligence reporting behind the curve? The Pakistani ambassador to China, Akram Zaki, invited me to a reception honoring a visiting delegation of the recently formed Afghan interim government. It was headed by the AIG Foreign Minister, Gulbuddin Hekmatyar. The reception took place in Zaki's spacious living room. Hekmatyar, then 41, was slight, grim-faced, and reserved. His dark, fish-like, hooded eyes were his most distinguishing feature. Toward the end of the reception, Ambassador Zaki asked me to stand next to Hekmatyar for a group photo. Our forced small talk was not pleasant. He glared at my necktie. After a few seconds' pause, he muttered, "Afghans don't like red." It was one of my best ties. I looked down and curtly responded, "The Chinese do."
Yeah.
We had no further exchange during the reception and the dinner, nor, for that matter, ever again. So, Hekmatyar is an ISI designated leader,
Okay.
but he has no support among the Afghan people.
Oh, okay.
And I don't remember if now he's joined the Taliban, but I know I've heard his name in like the last 15 years in regards to our involvement there.
Okay.
So he's still there,
active.
like causing trouble. Like, he's like super anti-American now,
Yeah.
Islamist, radical Islamist,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. I left China at a time when Chinese leaders faced the biggest challenge to their rule since they defeated Chiang Kai-shek's nationalists on the battlefield in 1949. The huge anti-government protests in downtown Tiananmen Square, with smaller echoes in 250 other Chinese cities, were humiliating. Millions of Chinese demonstrators ringed downtown Tiananmen on the evening of May 18th, forcing Chinese officials to shift Gorbachev's farewell banquet from the Great Hall of the People next to Tiananmen to another location. The banquet fiasco magnified the Chinese leadership's loss of face before the world and the Chinese population. On the morning of May 20th, 1989, my wife and I were waiting at the airport to depart China when a somber-faced Ling Ping, China's hardline prime minister, appeared on a nearby television screen wearing a Mao suit. Li announced the imposition of martial law, abruptly terminating China's tentative 10-year movement towards political liberalization. On June 4th, a long column of tanks from Inner Mongolia roared onto Tiananmen Square, guns blazing. The carnage prolonged Chinese communist rule in China. It also delivered a severe blow to the communist dynasty's mandate from heaven. The United States and the West were fortunate to The United States and the West were fortunate to have President George W. Bush and Secretary of State James A. Baker III managing foreign policy as the world lurched from the Cold War into the next epoch. Just that sentence.
Wow.
Wow.
It's just so great that they were around to whatever. Just not
Yeah.
whatever. It's
Anyways.
just, what the fuck?
Yeah. The transition was fraught with peril. Since the mid-18th century, no fundamental shift in the world's balance of power had occurred without a major war. The arsenals of the superpowers contained tens of thousands of nuclear weapons. President Bush, Secretary Baker, Soviet President Gorbachev, and Soviet Foreign Minister I'm not going to say this last name, adroitly steered their countries toward this very dangerous period of world history. It's like Shevardnadze. Anyways, President Bush and Secretary Baker were moderate Republicans. Goodness, who needed to retain the support of Republican conservatives in Congress to govern. Bush chose Dan Quayle as his presidential running mate, partly to maintain a link with the conservative wing of the party. Quayle and William Kristol, his neoconservative chief of staff and spokesman, espoused a more conservative foreign policy agenda that included staying the course in Afghanistan. Foreign Service Officer John Glassman, the American chargé d'affaires who closed the U.S. Embassy in Kabul when the Soviets withdrew, was on Quayle's staff. The Vice President and his team, Senator Gordon Humphrey and Charlie Wilson in the House of Representatives, looked to me to generate Mujahideenn's success and prevent the national security bureaucracy from backsliding into passivity on Afghanistan. So Charlie Wilson then was the main guy in the House that got funding for the Mujahideen. The U.S. Congress wasn't going to appropriate any money.
And wait, and now what position was he just given?
He's just in the House of Representatives.
He's just in the House.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but he's, there's a Charlie Wilson's War, I think it's called, and they made a movie about it.
Oh, okay.
Tom Hanks is Charlie Wilson. Anyways.
I never saw it.
I mean, it's not... The book is interesting, but... So did the Saudi ambassador to the United States, Prince Bandar al-Sultan, a regular presidential guest at the White House with his able deputy, Rihab Massoud. The Saudis were justifiably pleased that their joint effort with the Americans and the Pakistanis had helped expel the Soviet army from Afghanistan. But the Soviet-supported Najib regime remained in Kabul, and the Saudi government was committed to continuing the war until Najib was overthrown. The conservatives in Congress watched closely for evidence that Bush, his national security advisor Brent Scowcroft, and Secretary Baker were abandoning Afghanistan and sacrificing the Mujahideen for the greater good of U.S.-Soviet relations. I kept this in mind during briefings of conservative congressmen and their staff. Any misstep with Congress would send me to a next assignment in the State Department's geographer's office. Secretary of State Baker was well versed in Washington's backroom politics. When Chief of Staff to the President during Reagan's first term and Treasury Secretary in his second term, he had learned how to deal with bureaucratic opponents. Baker brought trusted subordinates from the Reagan administration over to state and placed them near his office on the department's 7th floor. A bunch of people had all worked with Baker in 2 Reagan administrations. The heavy influx of political appointees provoked grumbling in the corridors of the State Department, where little is left unsaid. Foreign Service officers ruefully christened Baker's inner circle the Star Chamber. Baker publicly fired back, saying he would not permit the Foreign Service to capture him. Doesn't make sense. The State Department bureaucracy gradually adjusted to playing by Baker's rules. Corridor griping died away. The world was quickly changing. There was important work to be done. Baker was the president's most important foreign policy advisor. He transcended other agency heads in the national security apparatus. Foreign policy proposals accepted by Baker and his Star Chamber would be put on a fast track to implementation. My aspirations for proximity to the Secretary, or to Deputy Secretary Eagleburger, were dashed a week after returning to Washington. The Eagle summoned me to a meeting with Bob Kimmett and Assistant Secretary for NEA, John Kelly. Eagleburger's 7th floor office was half dark. The Undersecretary sat behind his desk, one hand holding a cigarette, the other a respirator. The respirator's tiny hose end went into his mouth after each puff. The permanent twinkle in Eagleburger's eyes indicated to me that he reveled in this incongruity. Jesus Christ. The time had come to decide where I would land in the bureaucracy. It was already clear to me that the administration had decided to ignore the congressional legislation's lofty requirement that the ambassadorial-level special envoy shall coordinate United States policy and programs with the Afghan resistance. It was yet to be clarified where I would fit into the State Department's hierarchy. NEA was transferred Near East South Asia Bureau. NEA Assistant Secretary John Kelly had inherited Afghanistan as part of his NEA portfolio. Eagleboro, however, had made a personal commitment to Senator Humphrey that I would be adequately staffed and that I would be a policy player in Washington on Afghan matters. I want you to support Peter, Eagleburger told Kimmett and Kelly through the undulating cloud of cigarette smoke.
There was the timer.
That was the timer?
Yeah. Okay. Shh. Calm down. I need you to slow down.
It's okay.
So that
It's okay. You won't miss out.
so that you don't injure me.
You won't miss out. No, you won't. You won't miss out. No, you won't.
The FOMO is strong with this one.
Well, like, actually. Oh, my wine.
I don't even know if I want to eat. I do want to eat. Eat in the living room? So we're gonna watch the fish?
Yeah, I do think though this could use a little bit more time.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? Do you want to take a look at it? We can crisp up the cheese a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah. We will.
Oh shit, stop.
Okay. My laptop is upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the charger is here.
Well, that's my charger.
Yeah, but there's another laptop charger. Is mine still plugged in behind the TV there?
I don't know. We have 3 laptop chargers total. Because we have left one for the blue one.
Okay.
I don't actually know though where the third one is. It might be under there with the blue one.
Yeah, or maybe it's in my laptop bag.
Oh, do you want to put something on?
Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, let's put on your laptop, and I'll just for tonight. I'll keep this thing running on the tablet. I won't mess with it.
Okay. You want to watch?
Let's watch CrossFit.
We can see if TYT has been posted. Probably haven't.
Let's do that if it has been posted. Or did you watch yesterday?
We were watching yesterday. Yeah, we watched yesterday.
You're watching this. Well, they might still be alive.
Is it? Can't tell. January 30th, yeah.
Okay. They are alive. They're not alive.
No, no, no.
No, okay.
Well, post-game.
Okay. Oh, you forgot your password?
No, remember I changed it when they... Okay. Which one do you want to watch?
You want to do clean and jerk speed ladder?
Since we just did clean goods today. It'll be interesting.
And the race to the round of 20 is underway with these 5 opening lifts in the first round. It's Jones on the left, Porter in the second lane, Luckett, and then
Oh my god, 255?
to go. All 4 athletes already through the 255-pound bar, making their way to 265. It's synchronization for the 3 on the right side of the screen. Jones not far behind as he gets to bar number 4 out of 5. Shapoon with a slight lead. He's going to advance to the final bar, and the man that was an alternate in the Latin American regional went on to win and make his way to the games. He's going to get a gold record.
Oh yeah, look, it didn't look
And
steady.
he's going to give it to Marquand.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, he
Jones
won
in at
that.
39.92.
Oh.
Fuck, he can't do it again.
He was
Porter in at 46.36.
completely
And how confident
jacked by that.
no rep in this event.
Oh.
As Shalhoub went from leading away and looking like he would be in a good spot for the top 20, and it is unlikely he will advance at this point.
Exhausting.
Brandon, what a costly mistake for Shalhoub. He was ripping through the barbells, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we get to bar number 5. And what we talked about, you and I, in the warm-up here, was to avoid the no reps. You've got to make sure you get completely locked out and you're still before you drop that barbell. The judge gets the no rep. Costly mistake, and Marquand Jones ends up capitalizing, finishing that 5th bar in just 39 seconds. 39 will be the time to beat. Keep in mind, it's the top 20 times that advance. So Jones is not locked in. It is not a win and advance format. But he does have a good position coming out of our opening heat. So 39.92 seconds for Marquand Jones, the top time. As we get ready for our second heat, it'll be 4 from the U.S. Mitchell Stevenson, lane 1. Ethan Helbig, lane 2. Sexton Panchik, lane 3. And the lone non-rookie in the field of 4 will be Tim Paulson, one of the strongest men in the field. He'll be in the 4th lane. These guys have clean and jerks that we're looking at on the sheet here posted between 351 pounds and 365 pounds. I think this first round will be a breeze. But we have seen how strength isn't just what you need here. You also got to be consistent. You got to be accurate in this event. One mistake can cost you. It's just put on display in our opening heat. A few seconds away again, 39.92 seconds. Time to beat, set by Marquand Jones. Here we go with our second of 8 heats. All 4 athletes good at the opening bar of 245, moving on to 255.
They're all just doing like regular jerks, they're not doing splits.
Right.
Ethan Helbig in the 3rd, Mitchell Stevenson on the top lane in 4th. Paulson on the near side of the screen in dark blue leading. Sexton Panchik in the white shirt. One lane
Oh.
they're neck and neck to advance to the 275-pound bar. The 5th and final bar in the way. Paulson gets the lockout. He'll make his way out to the platform with a new top time at 31 seconds.
Oh, no rep.
Sexton Panchik in just behind at 33.3. Mitchell Stevenson.
It's like they can barely squat clean it, let alone jerk it. Gotta complete. Oh.
See, I like that tattoo along the forearm right here.
Oh, I missed it.
I mean, it's something written. I don't know what it was, but I like that location.
Yeah.
And I'm more and more thinking that I want to put something there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like foreign tattoos.
You should get your bees.
Nice.
For how they make their way through these 5 bars, the first 5 of 15, if they can advance all the way to the finals. And it was Paulson and the Sexton Panchik. Give him some credit as well. Paulson with the top time of 31.88, but less than a second and a half behind him was Saxon, who actually had the lowest listed clean and jerk max out of these 4. But we
Although I don't know that like the flicker head would really work there.
I think it ends up all being about the art. And you have to pick a tattoo artist and get him to make something that's really amazing for you.
So what I really want is I would see. I don't know though. Okay, so I think that length is better here, and I kind of then. So I'm thinking of either doing. I would probably put like a flicker feather, like on that. But then it's like, do I have two feathers? Like, is that kind of weird?
I think a bird head would be more
right?
better.
So what I want to do though is I want to go through all my pictures and find one or like a couple that they can then work off of. Because I have some really funny ones. Them like yelling. I like kind of want one of like a flicker baby yelling because that was just like, you know, so representative of that whole process.
Yeah, that would be great. And yeah, I mean, the only thing I would encourage you to really consider is the only tattoo artists who are really worth working with are ones you have to really work for. Josh Bridges, like, is he about to get eliminated?
Keep in mind, everybody that does not advance their score or time will be held in rank. That rep discount just before the time back. And that could be a big lift if anybody else is struggling in this opening round.
So the rep counts, but he wasn't able to go.
Quarterfinals, men's quarterfinals, Jared Enderton, left side of the screen. He went berserk on these opening barbells. He had thrown it right over his head. You can see he catches the bar onto his shoulders. He uses the down movement to throw the ball right back to the top. It was on his third barbell. Had a little bit of a follow on the clean. I'm pretty sure that cost him the best time overall so far because it was at least a 2 or 3 second hitch. But on bars number 4 and 5, he went up for it and walks away with the lead win. This time about 2 seconds slower than the current top time, which will still be 31.88 seconds by Tim Paulson. But Enderton looking like he will be in a good position to advance to the top 20. But there are still several athletes left as we get ready for heat number 4. Again, a full field of 5. Sean Sweeney, lane 1. Zeke Grove, lane number 2. Elliott Simmons, lane 3. Craig Kenny, lane 4. And Cody Anderson in lane number 5. And when we saw the speed clean ladder in 2014, it was Cody Anderson that had the show-stealing moment when he had that clean at double body weight that had that iconic moment out of that game. So we're super excited to watch Cody Anderson go through this. He seems to be a crowd favorite because he's at 170 pounds. He is way outside his body weight on these barbells. But pound for pound, you could make the case. He might be one of the strongest athletes in the field, but again, that being pound for pound. He also put together 28 uploads.
So I think he said that guy's only 170 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of crowd favorites, there's the CrossFit Cowboy, Sean Sweeney. Always having a good time out there. Easy there, Chief. And here we go with heat number 4 again, 31.
Oh, this is a problem before, too. You just like reposition laptop with that whole.
The time to beat for the top time, all you need is top 20 to advance. All 5 athletes from bar number 1 advancing to bar 2. Sweeney in lane 1 on the top side of the screen.
That's the guy who's.
Greg Kenny leading
No, that's a good one.
Anderson and Grove. So it's Kenny
That's who he's in the white, I think. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Across, you can see each athlete coming through on the fourth box from the left, first from the right, and we can see Craig Kenny making easy work. He was the smoothest through all 5 barbells. And Zeke rode second box from the left. He had a little bit of a bobble in the middle, and it took a couple seconds to regroup.
So what's interesting is what they're doing is instead of splitting, they're then just like bringing their legs out even more to the side.
Right.
And I guess though that would probably make your transitions faster, because with the split you then have to come back up to standing full for the rep to count.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so like moving from this to straight versus this to straight just takes more time. So with these smaller barbells,
Sorry, that is a stronger way to split. But
well, I think with because the barbells are going to go up in weight after this round. So probably for what they're considering these lower rounds, you know, lower weights, they can get away with not splitting.
wait, you mean further rounds in this event, or
Yeah, this is just a quarter round.
One of 4 athletes at 370 or higher.
so?
Yeah, so he can clean and jerk 370. So 265 is then no problem.
Yeah.
Scott Panchik on the top, lane 1. Alex Smith on the bottom in lane number 5. As we move to the first bar very, very quickly. That time of 31.88 may be in jeopardy for the top time. Advancing into the second round. On to bar number 3 for all 5 athletes within a second of each other. It's going to be Panchik and Urankar. Just in line with each other. Barely ahead of Smith and Linder Layton. Panchik continuing to hold up Urankar as Ben Smith is closing in. Panchik on the very top lane. Gives a rock out. Comes up onto the platform. That's going to be close for maybe the top time. Ben Smith in there. Right there, second behind. Urankar and Alex Smith. Right there as well. Linder Layton will come across the 40-second mark. And it's going to be 32:20 for Scott Panchik. 33:29 for Ben Smith. 35 seconds for both Urankar and Alex Smith. Wow. Kind of speechless after that one. But Brandon, we can see right from the start.
They're also then not standing up all the way after the clean.
Every single lift was exactly the same.
Right, yeah, they go right into
Yeah.
push.
So the barbell doesn't have to go on that far at 5'8". He's quick to throw the ball off the shoulders and bring it off the ground up over his head. His pacing was just a fraction of a second quicker than the Urankar delivering the middle screen on the bottom. And that gives
You want to get food?
him equal at 32 seconds.
Yeah, and you get the charger. And you get the charger from upstairs.
It'll be Logan Collins in lane number 1. Revelio Gamboa in lane 2. Frederick Agidius lane 3. Noah Olson is continuing his charge up the leaderboard in lane 4. And Rasmus Anderson in lane number 5. The athletes taking the floor. And this is going to be an interesting heat. We had that heavy hitter one in heat 5 This one a little bit of a mixed bag in heat 6. Kind of all over the place, Brandon, but we're looking at Rasmus Anderson. He's super strong at 300, well, it sounds crazy to say, but 340 pounds, he's the lightest lifter in the group. And Noah Olsen with a posted clean and jerk of 355. What a great supporter and a great CrossFitter. He hung out on the floor at the marathon row and made sure that all the ladies had his support. He stayed there till the last one was done. These five might need to be perfect if they want to find themselves into the top 20. It's Noah Olsen breaking from the first bar, just ahead of Rasmus Anderson. Olsen in lane number 4, going left to right. There he is in the dark tank top, still leading just barely ahead of Anderson and Gamboa. It continues to be Olsen as they advance to the final 2 bars. This one 270 pounds. Olsen opting to go for a split turn, and that's a little bit slower. Gives the edge to Gamboa, and the green tank top in lane number 2. And it'll be Gamboa that'll hop up onto the platform in about 34 seconds. Olsen less than a second behind. Rasmus Anderson in third. Logan Collins able to get the lockout at 275. Frederick Agidius has made his way to the final bar with 12 seconds remaining until the time tap. Collins underneath it. And the 170-pounder Logan Collins will get onto the platform just under the time tap. Agidius got the rep, but he won't get onto the platform, so he'll technically be time tapped. And he will likely see his run in this event end. But Gamboa, 33.92.
Okay, yeah, this is a lot more flavorful.
Yeah.
Great races. You're looking at the bottom of the screen, the 4 boxes. The 4 boxes, remember that Noah also made quick in the first couple bars. Really efficient, but he slowed down when he got to the 3rd bar. I believe it was right there. He opts for, now that's a push jerk on his 4th clean jerk. He opts for a split jerk. You'll see it here in that 4th bar. He takes a second to pause. That's what gives Noah Gamboa just a couple second lead to put him in at 34 seconds.
You already take out the red part?
No.
The man that took last year off to pursue his career as a firefighter, making the most of his return trip to the games. He wins this heat and has one of the faster times we've seen thus far, but still 2 heats remaining, and it's the top 10 in the point standings.
I just avoid it.
Left to take on round number 1. This will be athletes 6 through 10 in the standings. James Newberry, 10th place in lane 1. Adrian Lubiller in 8th will be in lane 2. Brent Bukowski in 6th place in 3. Jordan Paul in 7th place will be in lane 4.
No, I chose that.
9th place in the standings will be in lane 5. Brent Bukowski from at 325 pounds. But these barbells should not be
Did you put salsa on it?
I don't expect any mistakes.
Oh no, it doesn't.
And this could be a damage control event for Bukowski, as you pointed out, with the weight of the bar. But a couple of athletes trying to make their way up, including James Newberry, who's made his first appearance in the top 10 since after event 1. And away we go. It's Newberry in the pink tank top in lane 1. On the bottom side of the screen in lane 5, Willie George in a blue shirt. Bukowski leading the way.
Do you want a water bottle?
What?
Do you want a water bottle?
Center lane number 3 will continue to lead the way. Willie George still in line with them, actually. As they get to the 270-pound bar, Willie George will take the lead. The first Frenchman to qualify for the games, maybe taking the heat. And he will as he gets up to the platform at 32 seconds. 32.86 for George, 34.04 from Kelsey. Goodmanson in at 38.23. Here's James Newberry. Getting the block down, and he brings the beat together. He'll get the okay. He'll come up onto the platform in the 5th position. Goodmiller was in at 42.75. Newberry, 49.38. And George and Bukowski likely seeing themselves advance to the top 20. Well, George and Bukowski, they were rep for rep, almost second for second, all the way through from start to finish. And you can see Willie George there throwing that barbell over his head.
What do you think?
For barbell number 5, looked just like barbell number 1. Did
That is
try
better.
to catch and throw it overhead. And he comes in at 32
I'm
seconds.
putting more chili powder in it, I think.
Not far off the top
Medium.
heat left in the quarters.
I think
It's
put
top
more
five
in
point
the,
standings. Lucas Esslinger in 5th place in the standings
the
in lane 1.
cauliflower.
4th place is Patrick Bellner in lane
Right,
number
like actually
5.
flavor
Cole
count
Sager,
for
3rd place in the
somewhere.
Like, I
standings
put a
in
bunch
lane
in
2.
there,
Lucas
but I
Holker
didn't use more.
in 2nd place in lane 4. And the points leader and reigning 2-time champ Matt Fraser in lane 3. But for Fraser and Bellner, this has been a pretty chaotic day already, as they each had horrible
Oh, that's right, he
falls
fell
on the
off
cargo
the
net
obstacle.
in the battleground presented by the United States Marine Corps. And you can see Bellner here getting some medical attention. They were really concerned, trying to make sure that he's fit to compete. Now, they did do a check here, that the great medical staff that we had, they looked him over, they wanted to send him offsite to get a little extra imaging done, make sure he's okay, and he did check out. He has been cleared to continue, and Patrick Bellner has made his way back to the arena to complete this event.
You know, his hair is looking better in these ones than in the other 2 years.
Yeah.
Is he 100%? How will
Somebody
he
on the
handle
sidelines calms it for him now.
I think we'll know
Well, I
in the
think
first
it's because there's
couple
not
of
as much
rounds.
volume.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I should like stop eating for this.
31.88 continues to be the top time, but all that matters is getting into the top 20. It's Ben Fraser in the white leader's jersey out in front,
Bing.
just ahead of Lucas Hochberg in second. He's in lane number 4. Fraser, no surprise here. Already through bar number 3, out in front by about a half second over Hochberg. It's Bellner in 3rd, Esslinger in 4th.
That didn't look super locked on Fraser.
Taking the top time in the quarterfinal round. Why not?
The second to last bar didn't look like perfectly locked out. It did. It was drift. It did drift a little bit.
30.03 for Fraser. Hochberg also in over the prior fastest time. 31.02. Bellner 35.37. Esslinger 39.04. And Cole Sager still doing work on the 270 bar. And this could be a huge point hit for the man that entered this event in 3rd.
Oh, he was in 3rd place before this?
Any words left to describe it?
That really shows the diversity of bodies right there. Because it's like, but by event 6, he's in 3rd place and he can't do this. He can't do these maneuvers.
No.
This Vellner's problem is he's got a little lead in his feet.
Yeah.
He's
Here in the quarterfinal round, as we await the results.
definitely not as brisk as
Did you make it?
as
No,
some
I
of the
didn't
others.
make it.
The top
Make it
3
on time.
times. You see the names Ben Smith, Brent Bukowski, White's contenders, and 6
But it's top 20 that go on.
are part of the top 10. We will have 10 other athletes that will advance in the
Very
yard
made it.
here with
15
Noah Olson
tie.
included. Patrick Bellner. Oh, he's back. 15th place. He ties with Cody Anderson. Alex Smith, Alex Anderson. Also
See, look, it's like
in
all of
Rasmus
these, like,
Anderson, the 20th
US
final
guys,
will
like,
move on to the round
there's
of
not going to be as
20.
many of them. I think for a lot of these guys, their careers are over.
I thought it
Yeah.
was great
In terms
to
of
watch
CrossFit
these guys
Games.
move
Foreigners
across
are
the
coming in.
floor. They're so efficient, especially
Well, no, it's just, it's like, you either have to win one of these
It was
sanctionals
relatively easy for them to get across the floor
or
and
be the
others
top
that
person in the country.
did really, really well. All of them capable of
In the
throwing
open.
well over 275 pounds overhead, and it's going to be fun to watch them in the next round.
That's the only way.
And there's just only so many Americans who could make it through the sectionals, you're saying?
Sanctionals, yeah.
A little extra checkup. It was deemed clear to compete.
So I know, let's see, what's his face?
And he'll be moving on to the
Frazier won the
semifinals.
first one in Dubai.
If you look at the scores, too,
It was Frazier and
35.3%,
Sam Briggs.
We've got the tie
Won Dubai.
for 15th place.
And then Tia and Bellner won Wadapalooza in Miami.
So your top 20 will have a few minutes to get ready.
Australian
All
one,
the
James
fantastic
Newbury,
volunteer
one
staff
of the Australians,
here at the games.
and Sam Briggs won. So since she won two,
Only 20
her
will advance to our
Australia
semifinals.
spot goes to the
Coming
second
up in
person.
just a few moments.
Oh, okay.
So-
So it's not even used up then.
No, it is. So like whoever
Oh, okay.
was second then and not then gets the spot to the games.
Oh,
I forget who it was.
so she was already in the game.
She already won, yeah.
That's interesting.
And I think they're gonna.
So, like at the Dubai games, if like Fraser was already in, Fulton was already in, somebody else was already in, and theoretically fourth place men would go to the CrossFit Games.
Yes. Yeah. So that's why like your spot will still matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't remember how many total there's gonna be. Sanctionals, these qualifying events. But like there's a ton of them. There's at least 15. Maybe 20.
Something like a total of like 50 men and 50 women go to the games. It's a little more than that, maybe 60 men, 60 women.
I mean, in theory, there's like 160 some odd countries.
Yeah, but they're not looking for an athlete from each country, right?
The top athletes.
Top
in
athlete from each country
Yeah.
gets to come.
Wow.
Well, let's go move to Senegal.
Right?
And
Well-
we'll be the male and female athlete representing Senegal.
I think if Diego
wow.
actually wants to get to the games, that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Well, and me and Sarah were talking about it.
He's not going to win Mexico.
Yeah, me and Sarah were talking about it, and she's like, he needs to get a legit coach.
And we're going from the ground overhead with the speed, clean and jerk ladder. And look at the size of those numbers.
We start at 280 pounds and we work our way to 310
Well, I didn't
pounds.
really
We'll have
eat lunch,
four
so
heats of
I'm gonna
5
have
men.
more.
All right.
Keep an eye on Patrick
Come,
Miller in
hey,
the middle of the
hey.
floor. He has made a frantic charge at the leaderboard after finishing 35th in the opening event. Now reverse to 280 pounds. So good time tapping this heat. Beller's done, and he will make his way to 290, as will the rest of the field.
Now the pace has really changed from the first heat, that quarterfinal, to the particular semifinal. The weight is much heavier, so you need to make sure that you're ready to kick that bar off the ground. You can't rush to it too much. You have to make sure you're ready.
Patrick Beller up to 300. Rasmus Anderson is done first with 300 pounds. Zeke Grove is done as well. And now, Patrick Beller in the middle of your screen. Anderson is on the far left. Zeke Grove is on the far right. Alex Smith is in the tank top on the right of your screen. And Alec Anderson.
This is crazy.
Oh man, these
This
are
is so
sweaty.
fucking crazy.
See, yeah, now they're that guy split it.
Done. Rasmus Anderson is done. Now Zeke Grove will be the first man to 310. Here comes Patrick Beller as well. Grove has to hit the jerk. He will. Zeke Grove is in. Patrick Beller has to wait up for that. And Patrick Beller will finish second. Alex Smith is across the finish line.
So
Alex
Beller is
Anderson
going to get
now.
fucking
Rasmus Anderson
15th place
struggling to
again.
get that one stabilized. And he gets the good signal. And now Rasmus Anderson is in. The top 5 times will move on to the winner-take-all
To
final.
top 10 spots? Okay, hang on.
Very impressive with Zeke Grove off to the.
I think they said top 10 spots
on the
move.
far side of the screen, but very powerful. He's gonna crank himself through there, and that's a matter of having confidence when you go into each one of these lifts, knowing you're ready to go and hit it. I'm really surprised with the way Bellner was in that particular one. So if you look right in the middle of your screen is Pat Bellner. We really were wondering what he was going to be able to do coming into this heavy barbell work. And you know what? He was kind of hanging towards the back just a little bit. He wasn't doing anything real surprising with Rasmus Anderson all the way on your left-hand side, making his way through all those
I mean, I have no doubt there are Mexican athletes who are working on it.
Or what?
There must be at least like a dozen Mexican athletes who are working out
Yeah.
like
Saw
super heavy.
everyone approach. They knew that it's heavy. They know they need to get it to count. And Zeke Groves was the first one to grab that bar and just attacked.
This is a question of resources, right?
Very strong
It's not
position.
just-
Well, she was saying that like he wasn't really training smart. Like he would do like two workouts on his own and then also doing class. So it wasn't
Class
like
is not for
it wasn't focused.
Great finish for him. Unbelievable job by Pat Bellner.
Yeah, he needs to just train
Remember the top 5 times. Move on. Pat Bellner is still very much alive here.
Yeah.
With 3
specific
remaining in
competition
the
centered
semifinals.
goals and
Yeah.
Second
have a
of
strategy
4.
towards like,
In the middle of the screen is
okay,
Craig
here are
Kenny,
the
one of
men
bigger,
who
more powerful
will
athletes in the
likely
field.
be facing up against
He
and
should do
trying
well
to
in
rank with.
the
And,
semifinals.
Well, you know, you have the 240-pound strip press, so I just don't think.
but it must be challenging at that level because you don't. It's harder to get data on your competitors, right? It's not like they have fucking videos all over the internet of them working out in
I mean, look
competition.
at the bowling
Now
ball shoulders
showing
up.
you
Yeah, we
where
talked
they're
about that
at.
during the CrossFit Total as well. He likes these kind of events. He likes to go big. He
You
likes
have
to
to
go
be there
heavy.
in Mexico.
So
so
if
you
there is an
work
event
out
that's
and
going to do well for him, this is going to be it. But he needs to grab that bar and get it off the floor and get it overhead quickly. Can't sit there and have a bobble on his shoulders.
Semi-final heat number 2 is underway. You saw Cody Anderson before the buzzer. He is the smallest man in this heat. Everyone is through the 280-pound bar and now on to the 290-pound bar. Noah Olson, the first one to complete the journey alongside Nick Urankar moving on down to the 300-pound bar along with Noah Olson. Craig Kenny will be third. Urankar is done, and he moves on to 305. He's in the bottom of your screen. Noah Olson is through 300, as is Craig Kenny. And Cody Anderson is hanging tight. He is now in 4th place in the heat. Nick Urankar is through 305.
Look at that confidence in Nick down at the bottom of your screen, waving his arm, pumping the crowd.
Noah Olson is done. Olson walked around his barbell. He's supposed to go over it, but the judge did not catch it. Nick Urankar is in. Olson at 310. Olson hits that over his barbell and across the finish line. Cody Anderson at the top of your screen may actually beat Craig Kenny, and he does. Kenny hits his limit 310. That leaves John Colby as the only man left on the floor. 40 seconds to go before we hit the 2-minute time cap. Colby stands it up. And John Colby makes the lift count, and he will come across the finish line.
An absurd amount of weight to like be carrying over your head. Like,
In 2 minutes. Right?
Nick Urankar, time
Whereas, like, we were just doing sets of 2 in 1 minute.
yeah, and I was damn proud of doing 95 pounds.
Yeah.
Can do and needed to do here. So we talked
I think that was the scariest part about me when trying to go for 100 max on this was like, I had never lifted that much above my head before. I don't think I've ever done more than like 70 or 75. So everything past that, I was kind of freaking out.
Very strong for Nick. Very confident here for the nice split by Noah. Boom. Very confident on that split. Great foot and speed positioning underneath the bar. And just to go to the all-way part.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's actually with the jerks.
Looked amazing.
I actually think I'm most psychologically comfortable with the jerks for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we do know that they're normally in the penalty if you go around the bar. But here's what he did. He went to the truck. So I'm not
Compared
sure
to like
letting that go because he
max
went to the
squats and
truck.
stuff.
Or what? He wasn't
Yeah,
trying to do
definitely.
any sort of issue there.
I'm definitely more comfortable with jerks than max squats.
I just saw someone speaking to Noah Olson. He was shaking his head a little bit. I think they may have informed him that he just incurred a 10-second penalty. He did not look happy walking off the floor. But Nick Urankar wins the heat as he looks to make his way into the finals, though. 2 heats remaining in the fastest 5 times.
Because it's also very in or out. Like,
Winner take-all final, but we have to take care of the semifinals first. Third and fourth semifinal heats.
Like if you fail a jerk, you're gonna fail it
Kelsey
right away.
and Lane in number 5 trying to make his way.
With the back squat, you could poop out
Second straight year that he needs to
halfway
start
through the
scoring
drive,
points.
going on, or front squat.
Ben Smith, the 2015 fittest man on earth, also looking to get himself into the top 10.
Yeah, if you weren't like fighting yourself with your back,
The first
That'd
round,
be easier.
do the same. Here in the semifinals, Jared Enderton. I know he was looking forward to getting his hands on some heavy barbells.
God, that guy looks like he's 4 years old.
Yeah. So I'll ask you if you
Third
want
semifinal
water.
heat. Ben Smith
Can you?
versus
There's
Drake.
water in that one too. So
Straight to the blue top. Even bigger than Jared Enderton is at the top. He's also the
I didn't take that much.
the only reason I'm upset is because it makes it harder for me to track how much I'm actually doing.
I didn't drink that much.
So no, I
You want me
know.
to add water?
No, it's fine.
Roy Biancola and Brett Kapowski are tied for second. And Spencer Panchik is trailing. Enderton at the top of your screen. First man to the 300. Roy Biancola next to him. And then it's Ben Smith in the middle. The three of them work their way to the 305-pound barbell. Enderton completes his jerk. Ben Smith locks it out, as does Roy Biancola. Enderton down to the final barbell, 310 pounds. Jared Enderton hits that, and for the second straight time, Jared Enderton takes his heat.
The fact that they're doing all this up there, and those of you who advance, you're doing another round.
Right?
Brett Pakowski and Saxon Panchik needs to lock this out.
And your weight's going to start at 315.
Panchik is in. Unreal. Congratulations from Brett Pakowski, but that man Jared Enderton continues to impress here in event number 6, 54.38 seconds to take his heat.
So Jared Enderton, what I love about this guy is I'm a wrestler. He's a wrestler. So I got to give my props to him for that. But not only that, he is a strong man. So you look at the left-hand side of the screen, strength and barbells is this guy's forte. And he handled this bar with no problem. Now, one thing that I thought was interesting was as we got to, I believe it was the third bar here, he started actually going into a squat clean position. He dropped all the way to the squat. Everyone else, like Ben Smith, right in the middle of his screen, did a power clean. So even though he went for that full squat, he was able to get that bar off his shoulders or off the ground to his shoulders and then quickly get that up overhead. Whereas Ben Smith was even a shorter distance, waited a lot longer in that front rack position. Jared looked so strong. Even with this, I think he tried to go for the jerk a little bit too soon here. A little bit of a wobble, but so powerful. Unbelievable finish, and I've been waiting to see that one go. I've been waiting to see him lift that weight.
Jared Enderton fired up as he looks to make his way into the winner-take-all
He needs
final
some
heat.
help
But
with
one
his beard.
semi-final heat remains.
Dancers are good.
Yeah,
Let's
they're on
see
fire.
Enderton showing off some dancers. That was pretty impressive for a guy to move like that. Final heat, 5 more athletes. Matt Fraser, who had the fastest time out of anybody in the quarterfinal heat.
You know, when you burp like that, you're like home, you don't need more food.
And final heat.
You know, there's been a lot of
You've
talk with
already
Matt
had
about
20.
he's finally being
Your
pushed.
stomach is
And
just
in
trying to
that
figure it
last
out.
heat, it was that face that
You know, he was accused of looking like a ball of fufu when he was a pup.
You can all talk about it, but
Looking
I'm
like a
still
ball
the
of
guy.
fufu?
He's
Yeah.
lined up with the guys that
Because
have moved
after
the
you would eat
fastest
fufu, he just like really round.
Just swell.
I want to
Yeah.
see if he's able to do that. I want not only the other guys to push him, but I want to see a race. I want to see these guys take a risk and do something big and special.
Don't make Matt Fraser angry. You would not like him when he's angry, and he only leads by 8 points. It's safe to say that Matt Fraser's pretty angry right now.
No, that's not a good joke. You need gnome jokes, not Hulk jokes.
8 points back of Fraser in the overall standings.
And Lucas has been aggressive in every single event. We've seen him attack, but I expect to see nothing different here.
Final semi-final heat to start with the 289 barbell.
No, it started at 280. Oh, this is the same one. No, you're right.
Yeah, it's C4.
Frazier and Paulson now separate themselves there. The first of the 300-pound barbell. Scott Manchin is right behind him.
It just feels like the final round because Frazier is.
He continues to lead by about a half second over Tim Paulson. Scott Manchin at the bottom of the screen moving into third. Pass Lucas Holker. Frazier is through, and he will get to the 310-pound barbell. Paulson behind him.
Oh no!
And he'll get right back on it. Frazier has it stood up.
Oh wow!
Missed the jerk.
He's again the top 10.
Lucas Holker. Frazier has it stood up.
All right, he's still under a minute.
He will hit that. Holker hits his limb. And Frazier
Minute
is
3.
in. But he may not be advancing. Holker is in as well. The top 5 times advanced.
Oh,
Matt
top
Frazier
5 times
may
advanced.
not be one of them. Willie George is across the finish line.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
But the
goodness.
good news for Frazier is the guy right behind him probably won't be in that final heat as well. So Frazier will not be surrendering a ton of points to Lucas Holker. But all of a sudden, things are getting really interesting here in Madison, Wisconsin.
So we knew, we saw that face, we saw him attack, and on those first couple of barbells, he did just that. Looked very strong, grab, grip, and rip right off the ground. All these guys went into that split position or into this squat position. Tim Paulson, the black tank top.
But it's like all of these guys are then running, whereas in the other heats, a lot of them were walking.
Right.
Matt just marching his way down. Really,
Yeah, I think, and that's why it's close, right? Because they still finished in like a minute.
Magic all the way to the right-hand side of your screen. Who's hanging in there, so you really didn't see him, but then Matt, just not able to get that bar in a good position was allowed Tim and Scott to get in there. Tim Paulson, beautiful jerk. Matt misses it, and then we have that sprint between Tim and Scott. Unbelievable. 2 fails for Matt Frazier. We don't see things like that.
Matt Frazier does pick the right time to make a mistake, though. It's looking like, and this is unofficial, the good news for Matt Frazier is the 4 or 5 men immediately behind him in the overall standings will not be in the final heat, so they will not be picking up points on him. At least a lot of points.
Well, Matt did try to get right back on that bar, which is very commendable, but even on that, you see his feet? He
Yeah,
didn't
it's
do
like
a
he wasn't
push press,
split
he didn't do
properly.
a push press.
His
Here are
feet
your
just
top
didn't
5
go out.
times.
Yeah.
The men
So he just didn't
moving
even get
up
on the bar.
Tim Paulson will be one of them. Scott Manchin, Nick Urankar, Jared Egerton, and Ben Smith. And Matt Frazier did beat Lucas Holberg across the finish line, so he will finish ahead of Lucas Holberg in the event. Matt Frazier will probably still have the overall lead. Who wins this event is still to be decided. We will have the winner take all final heat when we return here to the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin.
Come, you don't have to follow me. I'm getting back on the couch.
Come here. Come on. Come back here. Come here. Come here.
Look, I'm back.
Come here.
I'm back. Go up there with Dad. Come on. No.
You just forgot about
You
helping
want
me
to
out
win,
here.
you need to be the first man to lift nearly 1,700 pounds. It's the winner-take-all final of event 6. The speed, clean, and jerk ladder. The final 5 athletes about to take the floor with 100 points up for grabs. I'm Sean Wood. Mike Arsenault is on the competition floor. Final round, the weights have gotten even heavier now as we start with 315 pounds.
You know, we saw
I'm
what,
right here. Don't worry.
when we ended off at 310 pounds looked like, and now we're jumping up. This is heavy. These guys are strong. And
Yeah,
it's
starting
gonna
at
be
315.
very fun to watch.
To 345.
CrossFit Games are a worldwide affair, but this final heat is all American. The 2015 Games champ Ben Smith in lane 1. Nick Urankar next to him, Tim Paulson, who had the fastest time in the semifinals. He'll be in lane 3. Scott Panchik and Jared Enderton rounding out the top 5.
Jared Anderson is the only rookie in this final part of the field here. And what I love is that not only is he strong, he's got strongman background, he has a lifting background, he's got wrestling background, and this kid is just feisty when you can put a bar in his hand. So look at the strength that he has. Look at the last 2 lifts of the semifinals. I just want him to get in there and mix it up with these guys.
Winner take all. Final heat of the speed, clean, and jerk ladder starts with 315 pounds. And Tim Paulson in the middle of the floor has completed his jerk, as had Victor Anker in the pink shirt, and Ben Smith and Uranko will be the first man to the 325-pound barbell, followed by Paulson and Smith. Uranko, no problem on the clean.
I'm pretty sure Uranko wins it.
6 to jerk, and he remains in the lead. 3 barbells to go. Now 335 pounds. For Nick Uranko. Paulson. Ben Smith, top of your screen, is in third.
It's in the face. It's your
As he
face.
makes his way to the 335-pound barbell, Nick Uranko on his clean. He's the only man lifting right now. Uranko sticks the jerk. And he is way out in front as he moves to the 340-pound barbell. This is Tim Paulson at 335.
Yeah, his knees just collapsed there.
Beautiful split jerk by Tim Paulson. You can see he also changed his grip from his pull to his jerk position. He went a little bit wider, which he's got the long arm, but he shortened that up a little bit.
Ben Smith got no rest, so he's stuck at 335. Uranko about to clear 340. Uranko, 345 pounds between him and an event win, and he's calling on the crowd to get him through this lift. Scott Panchik is going to take 340, as has Tim Paulson. Uranko on the final barbell.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Uranko wins the speed, clean, and jerk ladder. Second place at 94 points is still up for grabs. And Tim Paulson right now is the only man at 345. While Jared Enderton gets to the barbell as well. Enderton looking into the jerk, and Enderton is across the finish line. Second place for Enderton and a third for Tim Paulson. Scott Panchik fails the clean as we have about 40 seconds to go before we hit the 3-minute time cap. So it's Panchik and Ben Smith, 2 CrossFit Games veterans, still on the floor. Smith at 340. The worst he can do is 5th place in this event. Panchik will hit 345. If Panchik is in,
You didn't know it again?
Ben Smith will lock up 5th place.
No back call.
And Ben Smith doesn't care. He's going to try to make another run at 340, it looks like.
And you know, he doesn't need to. Yeah, don't.
Why do it?
No reason
Good
to.
place for Ben Smith and college at the crowd heads to the finish line. But it's Nick Uranko.
And he's already stripped again. Like, his man cannot keep his shirt on.
And he's rewarded with 100 points in the event win.
So we knew when this event came up and Nick was around that this was going to be a Nick Uranko show, and it definitely was. You see right there in the blazing pink shirt, every single lift, he stood that thing up, no problem. Getting that up overhead, no problem. And the confidence between these guys, between him, between these lifts was unreal. Now you saw how much preparation all these guys had as they marched their way down. And one thing you have to say is for Jared Enderton over the right-hand side of your screen, he was basically sitting in the back of the pack all the way through, taking plenty of rest as he marched his way up through those bars. But Nick Uranko putting on a show.
I can't handle it. Just lie down, Jesus Christ. Move your
Look
face.
at
I can't see.
me. I'm gonna make some big moves for you. Fired up. And again, he had plenty of time. He knew where the other competitors were. Didn't have to get to that bar right away. Plenty of time to rest. And man, he made this look good.
bags of his first career event win. And he's looking to work his way into the top 10 in the overall standings. But right now, he's got to work his way through an interview with Mike Arsenault.
Thank you, Sean. Nick, you were 16th coming into event number 6. That 100 points is going to put you a lot closer toward the top 10. Many people were picking you as the favorite for this event. How do you manage the pressure of being one of the favorites to take the 100 points here in event number 6?
I believe that I could take the event, so I mean, I don't think the pressure was on anybody else but myself. No matter what anybody thought, I kind of knew I had to just go, and it was a good event for me.
You were playing to the thousands of people inside the Coliseum as you approached the last bar. What does the crowd reaction do for you to help lift all that weight up over your head?
Holy cow, it got loud. That was unbelievable. It just escalated to the point where it was like I have to go. It can't get just focus on one, and somebody over here I was just staring at.
It looked like every time you finished a lift, you waited to hear a bar behind you to drop before picking up the next one. What was the strategy you used to approach each of those lifts?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to do that. It just kind of happened that way. I was more thinking, go when you're ready, you've done enough. High reps, high weight, or low reps, sorry. Every 30, 45 seconds, I was like, just give yourself enough rest not to fail. And then as I kept going and people got behind me, I realized I've got some time, but I didn't want to take too much time, especially with everyone going crazy at the end.
Thanks, Nick. 100 points here to event number 6.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. That was awesome.
So he's got a little bit then of those muscles that the Sando had under the pecs.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'll ever have those.
No, that's okay. I think it's kind of a freaky thing.
It's kind of freaky. I think I'll get some pretty wavy photos.
Coming up next, more coverage from the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games is ahead.
Cub, you're not getting anything else. I don't know why you think you are.
Yeah, Cub, you need to chill the hell out, man. You're demonstrating right now why we can't give you food after every single. This dog is in a lot of pain for just war. Come on, out. Go on the couch.
Come on. Lie down. And don't wiggle.
Welcome into the electrifying Coliseum at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin, as we're ready for women's event number 6 of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games, the Speed Clean and Jerk Ladder. Brandon Domain, Rob Orlando, Mike
75.
Arsenault with you. And if the men's side of this event gives us any indication, the women's side is going to be absolutely exciting. Individual event number 6 is the Speed Clean and Jerk Ladder, and on our women's quarterfinal
So it
round,
starts at my PR. My PR is one for women. It starts at my PR. Yeah, 155.
No, it's 165. I thought was your PR.
It'll be the top 20 times that advance, regardless of
Yes,
where
it
you
is.
come from. It is
Yeah.
not the win and advance format that we saw last year. Brenda Castro will be in lane number 1, Courtney Haley lane 2, Kristen Mayfield and Stephanie Chung round up the field of 4 in heat number 1. And underway with the first 4 that will be setting the time to beat. Keep in mind the top 20 will advance. Brenda Castro in lane number 1 on the top end of the screen. She is the highest listed clean and jerk on this field of 4 at 245 pounds. She leads the way, but it is close all the way to the 4th. And in fact gives Stephanie Chung the slight lead on the right side lane. Stephanie Chung, who had a near historic comeback to make her way to the games this year out of the Meridian Regional. She will see the lead go away just at the very end as Brenda Castro, the Latin American Regional Champion, will take our opening heat at 36.99. Courtney Haley in at 37.19, 38.2 for Chung, 40.76 for Mayfield. Brenda Castro put on a show from start to finish in this first round. With a 245-pound clean and jerk on this
I think I have the same shoes as them.
Yeah. That's
And
Castro.
we can see right from the
Yeah.
jump, she led almost wire to wire on the left far left-hand side of the screen. You can see she does a quick clean, catches it on the shoulders, and
Number
immediately
1 and
pops
screen
that ball
3
right
too.
into the overhead
Huh?
position. No pause,
Yeah, I guess
not
in
a
screen 3 and screen
Make
4.
sure to get that bar into the overhead position.
No, everybody has the same ones except for screen 2.
37 seconds, that's a great start for her.
Yeah.
36.99 for Brenda Castro to set the top time in our opening heat. Keep in mind, our 3 fastest times in the first round on the men's side, only 1 advanced to the finals, but part of that fast 5, and that was St. Paul's who finished third. We'll see if the ladies can change that, including Brenda Castro, who currently has the top time after our first of 8 heats. Our second of those 8 heats will also be a field of 4. In lane number 1, it'll be Paige Zavenza. Lane 2, Chloe Galvinda.
Alex.
You want me to fiddle with it?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little full. Actually, why don't we go get in bed?
Okay.
I know one needs to get up. Is that happy tummy?
Oh my god. Yes. Alright, well, I'll turn it off. And say goodnight.
That's your tummy.
That's my thing.
Your stomach.
You want to say goodnight to the live stream?
What's still in going?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm kind of oblivious to
yeah,
what's up.
actually, I am.
Yeah.
Come on, Kev. Let's go potty. No, this way. No, no food for you. You've had enough food. No, go pee. I'm not having this discussion with you. Go pee.